Good day, everyone. Welcome to this first presentation in my series on generational wealth. And today we are going to talk about more than money, a legacy that lasts. So, what will I address in this session? Number one, why is generational wealth so important? Number two, what is it? Number three, we're talking about family values. Number four, family vision, and lastly we will address family history and the importance of that. Why is it so important for us to talk about generational wealth? Well, for me it's unequivocally that the research tells us that 70% of all wealth that was generated within a family is lost within one generation, and 90% of the wealth is lost within 3 generations. And that for me is just sad. You have spent so much time, you have spent so much effort, made so much sacrifice, and then all of that you have built up is lost. So we need to look at a vision, values, and how do we prepare the next generation to not have this wealth all lost. So why am I doing this series? Some of you may know that I specialize in retirement, and one of the common questions I have these days with my clients is, how will wealth be passed on? All of them have some wealth that maybe stay behind, an extra property, some investments, etc. And how do we plan for this to be transferred? And that means that we need to challenge traditional financial thinking and traditional financial planning. That normally ends with having a will, maybe an estate plan, and that's the end of it. But first, what is generational wealth? Generational wealth refers to the assets, the resources, the values, the knowledge that are intentionally passed down from one generation to the next to improve that generation's financial security, opportunities, and well-being. Few very important concepts here. It's not only money or investments, and the whole idea of intentionality, and I hope that's why you're watching the series, and then for the long-lasting benefit of that generation. Generational wealth therefore includes 4 main aspects. Financial capital, which are homes, properties, investments, businesses. Human capital, that has to do with education, skills, your work ethic. Intellectual capital, family wisdom that have been built up over generations, and how you make decisions. The fact that you've built up some wealth means that you could make good financial decisions. And then also social capital, the relationships, networks, the family reputation that goes along with that. Now, one of the reasons why I decided to do this is that the whole idea of generational wealth was often only privileged to ultra wealthy families. If you had huge farms or a lot of or big business, then people will contact you and say, let's do some generational wealth planning. But every family can build a legacy. And as I've said, I'm now talking about my clients that were salary earners, that maybe had a small business, and they have this wealth that can be transferred. In one of the books that I read about the topic, the question was, or the example was made that just think if even one home in a trust can make a big difference over generations. For example, if your ancestors, my ancestors, just put their family home in a trust 200 years ago, and every new generation just added that own family home to that trust, we would have had 3,000 properties by today, 200 years later. You can be the start of this generational wealth. So we need a vision that's greater than just ourselves. We must first have that vision, that picture, that wish that we want to build this wealth. We can see from research again that 90% of wealth transfer failures are relational. 60% due to poor communication, a lack of trust, 25% because the heirs were unprepared, and 10% because there was a lack of a shared vision. And these things we will be addressing, and it can be addressed in the next presentations that I'm going to have, preparing you so that that generational wealth is not lost. But first we have to start with our values. Values define what is important, what is allowed in our family, and what is morally acceptable for our family. So we need to ask ourselves, what is most important to us? And we can use prompts like faith, education, service, resilience. And I also want to share this link with you, www.thegoodproject.org. They have a value sort, and maybe you as a family can come together and just talk about what values you want to set and use that application. Each family member can contribute their top 3 values, and you can discuss it as a family. Look at recurring themes and then agree on 5 to 7 core values for your family. You can write that down and revisit them yearly. But the first challenge is go and do the exercise. Go and think about what's the important values for your family. And then we need to prepare that picture, that vision for our family. A vision is a clear and inspiring picture of a desired future state. It describes what you want to achieve or become in the long term. So again, you can see that communication coming through. Start with open conversations. Talk about your faith, your education. What about generosity? What's your view on entrepreneurship? Everything that can build that picture. And then, if you want to get practical, here are 6 steps. Number 1, call a family meeting with all generations. Then, discuss what success means. When will your family be successful? What will be the identifiers of success for your family? Then, hopefully you have already done the exercise on the values. Discuss the shared values and your family's long-term dreams. And then you can write your first vision statement. And I'm going to give you an example just after this. But what do you say in the vision statement? We are a family that values. And then put in your core values. Our family is committed to. What are we committed to? Your key goals. Maybe that everybody have an education. Maybe that everybody will have their own family home. So that we can leave a lasting legacy. That what's your desired outcomes? What's that desired picture, that dream that you have? And then translate that into SMART goals. Review and revise annually. What is SMART goals? It must be specific, so clearly define what you want to accomplish. Start a family trust to protect the generational wealth. That's specific. It must be measurable. Include criteria to track the progress, to see if you are reaching that target. You want to save 100,000 rands within 12 months. It must be achievable. The goal should be realistic. It should be attainable, not a dream. So you want to contribute 8,500 rands towards your savings goal. It must be relevant. So the goal should align with your vision and values. So for example, this helps secure future generations' educational needs. It must be time-bound. Set a clear deadline that you are working towards. Establish the trust and transfer initial assets by March 2025-2026. 2026, yes. So then you can have your family charter, that vision statement. We are a family that values faith, integrity, gratitude, education, and generosity. And we are committed to supporting one another, managing our resources wisely, giving back to the community, and teaching the next generation about responsibility and stewardship. Why? So that we can leave a lasting legacy of love, purpose, and sustainable wealth for generations to come. What's our first goals? Start a family education fund. Number 2, hold quarterly family meetings to review our family vision, values, financial goals. Number 3, to donate 10% of all family income to a shared charitable cause each year. Can you see? Specific, smart goals set out for us. And these can be updated over time. This inheritance is more than just the money. It's a total mindset. And therefore, in order to help our heirs understand our purpose and our vision, we need to document our family story so that we can build a mindset in our heirs of stewardship. They are just protecting this wealth. It's not for them to spend in their lifetime. It must be taken forward to the next generations. So how do we record our family history that will make this wealth more than just the money, but an emotional story of the family? Interview all the generations about key events that happened in your family. Write down and record the life stories and milestones of your family. Include the story of how the wealth was created. What sacrifices did you do? What businesses did you undertake? How hard did you work to build this wealth? Then take this all together and create a family legacy journal or a video archive with the founding stories, photos, biographies of key family members, the family tree perhaps, business histories, mistakes and lessons that was learned, the evolution of your values and vision over time. You can even go so far as in step 5, involving the younger generations to help with the documentation. You see, if they can become involved, this becomes an emotional involvement and stewardship for them as well. And then store this digitally so that you can share it with all family members. An inherited mentality can empower or harm the next generation. So therefore, we also need to teach them financial literacy and encourage appreciation for money. And that is again where this family history comes in. If they understand the sacrifices that was made for this wealth, it will immediately give them a new insight into the wealth. We'll talk about teaching them financial literacy in future presentations. What is often the goal with generational wealth? We want passive income, wealth that works for us. And often people also want to give back to the community. For example, giving away 10%. And that will also help our heirs to have a purpose in life, so that this legacy includes also serving the biggest society. It's not about me, my family, and all that we can get out of it. So what can you expect in this series of mine? We'll talk about the concept of wealth, family dynamics, estate planning and wealth transfer, family governance, that's extremely important, and then lastly also philanthropy. So, final thought to leave you with. Legacy doesn't happen by chance. We need to intentionally plan it. And true planning is multi-generational. We need to involve various generations so that we can make sure that they understand what we want to achieve. And we need to move way beyond spreadsheets and finances. So, I want to challenge you for the next week. Determine your family values. Write down your family value and vision statement. And lastly, record your family history. That will form the basis for our further